intensos rigidam in frontemge ascendere canos passus erat. Lucan, de Catone. A bristly boar. Translation. Let us hurry to the walls, said Abel Fittim to Buzi ben Levi and Simeon the Pharisee on the 10th day of the month Thammuz in the year of the world 3941. Let us hasten to the ramparts adjoining the gate of Benjamin, which is in the city of David and overlooking the camp of the uncircumcised, for it is the last hour of the fourth watch, being sunrise, and the idolaters, in fulfillment of the promise of Pompey, should be awaiting us with the lambs for the sacrifices. Simeon, Abel Fittim, and Buzi ben Levi were the Gizbarim, or sub-collectors of the offering in the holy city of Jerusalem. Verily, replied the Pharisee, let us hasten, for this generosity in the heathen is unwanted, and fickle-mindedness has ever been an attribute of the worshippers of Baal. That they are fickle-minded and treacherous is as true as the Pentateuch, said Buzi ben Levi, but that is only toward the people of Adonai. When was it ever known that the Ammonites proved wanting in their own interests? Methinks it is no great stretch of generosity to allow us lambs for the altar of the Lord, receiving in lieu thereof 30 silver shekels per head. Thou forgettest, however, Ben Levi, replied Abel Fittim, that the Roman Pompey, who is now impiously besieging the city of the Most High, has no assurity that we apply not the lambs thus purchased for the altar to the sustenance of the body, rather than of the spirit. Now, by the 5 corners of my beard, shouted the Pharisee, who belonged to the sect called the Dashers, that little knot of saints whose manner of dashing and lacerating the feet against the pavement was long a thorn and a reproach to the less zealous devotees, a stumbling block to less gifted perambulators. By the 5 corners of that beard which, as a priest, I am forbidden to shave, have we lived to see the day when a blaspheming and idolatrous upstart Rome shall accuse us of appropriating to the appetites of the flesh the most holy and consecrated elements. Have we lived to see the day when— Let us not question the motives of the Philistine, interrupted Abel Fittim, for today we profit for the first time by his avarice or by his generosity. But rather let us hurry the ramparts, lest offerings should be wanting for the altar whose fire the rains of heaven cannot extinguish, and whose pillars of smoke no tempest can turn aside. That part of the city to which our worthy Gizbarim now hastened, and which bore the name of its architect, King David, was esteemed the most strongly fortified district of Jerusalem, being situated upon the steep and lofty hill of Zion. Here a broad, deep, circumvallatory trench, hewn from the solid rock, was defended by a wall of great strength erected upon its inner edge. This wall was adorned at regular interspaces by square towers of white marble, the lowest 60 and the highest 120 cubits in height. But in the vicinity of the gate of Benjamin, the wall arose by no means from the margin of the fosse. On the contrary, between the level of the ditch and the basement of the rampart sprang up a perpendicular cliff of 250 cubits, forming part of the precipitous Mount Moriah, so that when Simeon and his associates arrived on the summit of the tower called Adoni Bezek, the loftiest of all the turrets around about Jerusalem and the usual place of conference with the besieging army, they looked down upon the camp of the enemy with an eminence excelling by many feet that of the pyramid of Cheops, and by several that of the temple of Belus.